It is indeed my honor and privilege to welcome today's commencement speaker, Ms. Sabine Ali, the CEO of AngelHack, who I otherwise call Beyonce of Silicon Valley. USF alumna Sabine Ali is changing the world through code. Ms. Ali is the founder and CEO of San Francisco-based AngelHack, which connects angel investors with hackers. One of the company's main efforts is organizing hackathons, competitions that gather teams of developers to build working technology and create working solutions to a problem in a span of 24 hours. Through its events and programs, which span more than 50 cities around the globe, AngelHack is the world's largest and most diverse hacker community. Many of its hackathons are focused on promoting social good. The 2015 Kerala Road Safety Hackathon, for example, brought together developers, designers, and entrepreneurs to search for solutions to the traffic fatality epidemic in India, where there are nearly 650 traffic deaths a day. The company also recently rolled out its Code for Impact Award, which encourages developers to create projects that will benefit the public. Award winners are invited to join AngelHack's Accelerator program, which guides entrepreneurs through starting a business and connects them with investors. About 30% of these graduates go on to securing funding for their startups, and several have entered into world-recognized funding programs like Y Combinator. AngelHack, a female-owned and female-majority business, stands out in male-dominated Silicon Valley. Ms. Ali's mission is to empower girls and women in tech. Through its nonprofit arm, Code for a Cause, AngelHack actively recruits women to be participants, judges, and mentors in all its events. Ms. Ali has spoken at TEDx events in Iran and California, as well as South by Southwest, among other conferences. She regularly travels around the world to help facilitate the hackathons. In 2015, she was named one of the 100 influential leaders by the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. Before founding AngelHack, Ms. Ali founded and sold a leadership, training, and organization development company called Team Building ROI, which consulted for companies like Kaiser, Yahoo, and Cisco. Ms. Ali has earned a bachelor's degree in English from California Polytech State University in San Luis Obispo, and a master's in organizational development from the University of San Francisco. Please welcome your commencement speaker, Ms. Sabine Ali.
Thank you so much, Opinder, for that warm introduction. First of all, congratulations to all of you. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You are all awesome. Now remember this moment. Look around you at the people sitting next to you, at all the people that have gathered here behind you. Soak it in. This is the moment where you celebrate your achievement and look forward to everything that you have yet to accomplish with the lessons you've learned, people you've met, and experience you've gained here at USF. Remember this feeling of accomplishment. Store it up in your long-term memory. And let me be the first to tell you, welcome to the real world. In a world where you're not always going to have people telling you you're awesome, you're not always going to have a crowd of people applauding your accomplishments or cheering you on. In fact, there's a good chance you're going to hear the word no a lot. There's a good chance you're going to choose the right job, but an equally good chance that you're going to choose the wrong one. There's a good chance you're going to feel like a failure, and there's a good chance that there's going to be people around you reminding you of that failure. Sometimes life sucks, and sometimes people suck too. Are you scared yet? But it won't always be that way. Well, Honestly, if I had it my way, I'd erase the word failure from your vocabulary entirely. I'd erase the word scare too. How do you start to erase the word failure? Well, let's actually look at the definition. To fail is to be unsuccessful in achieving one's goal. To fail is to be unsuccessful in achieving one's goal. Well, I don't think I have one goal, and I don't think my goal is just for myself, and I don't think any of you do either. So technically, this definition doesn't apply to us. See, in my experience, being scared and a failure does not matter because I'm carrying out a purpose that's much greater than myself. In life, I follow two mantras: seek purpose greater than yourself and live life without limitations. With these mantras, you can accomplish anything. As a fellow USF graduate, mother of two amazing and exhausting young girls, and CEO of my second startup, it is these themes that have carried me through the hard times, through all the no's, and frankly, got me past all the haters. When I was sitting here where you're sitting, I was jobless. I was 27 years old. I was a mother of two. I was about to be pregnant, unemployed, and I had over $100,000 in debt. And you thought you had problems. I had spent the last 2 years primarily at home with my daughter, whose guiding sage was Elmo. And being that she was my daily and often sole companion, my daughter, Elmo, and I became our own little world. I developed social anxiety and wanted to get a job where I could avoid all human interaction. Those 2 years of staying at home had me feeling isolated, and I was plagued with self-doubt. I spent a lot of time trying to build up the courage to even go to stores like Old Navy and Sephora and ask for a job application. And then I would start thinking to myself, well, what are they going to say when I stroll in here with my daughter? What am I going to say when they ask me why I don't have a job but a graduate degree? I didn't find a job for another 4 months, and the job that I did find was the same place that I had worked when I was in high school and I was in junior college. But I sucked it up and I went. Deep down, and I mean deep, deep down, past all the doubt, I knew I was meant to do something important, something big, but sure was it getting hard to keep that passion alive. Well, a few months into the job, I got the idea for my first startup. I owe everything to my coworkers and my family who encouraged me and believed in my vision much more than I did at that time. 2 of my coworkers even left their job to come and co-found this startup with me. When I had such little faith in myself, the people around me rallied, made sacrifices, and placed their bets on me. And it was the biggest confidence boost ever. I couldn't have planned a better entry into startup life. Fast forward a couple of years where I sold this first startup and I founded AngelHack. Now mom to a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old, I was averaging about 3 to 4 hours of sleep per night. But no matter how hard I worked, I always felt like it wasn't enough. Not because I wasn't accomplishing anything. In fact, I accomplished quite a bit. I managed to create a startup that was profitable, that had over 100 clients and was on the brink of national expansion. But I was chasing something bigger. I won't say, hey, look at me now. I'm a big success, because I never really saw myself as a failure, and I certainly don't see myself at the end of my quest now. But what I will tell you is that I carry a heavy burden, and it is one that I am proud to carry. I have the burden of knowing that I have the ability to change the world. It's never just been about starting a business or making money. It's always been about something bigger, going global and having a real impact. For example, the company that I run now spans across 42 countries worldwide and has empowered hundreds of other people to run successful businesses. My job now is to serve them, and in turn, serve a greater purpose beyond my own personal success. And that is infinitely more fulfilling. And even through my many years of struggle, I always knew that I was meant to do something special. As a kid, I knew it. As a graduate, I knew it. As a mom, I knew it, and I know it now. And I know a lot of you sitting here in this audience know that you have that burden too. You wouldn't have attended a school that challenged you to change the world if you didn't think you had something to offer. So a lot of people who knew me back then or hear this story ask me, well, what changed? What happened? Well, nothing really changed specifically. What happened was that I built up enough momentum inside of me to actually create a change in my life. That change in turn snowballed and created more and more energy and momentum and change over time. So then I put my sights on changing the lives of others. I don't like the saying, create something from nothing. I mean, it's just not how science works. You know, we're all energy. Think about it in a very scientific way. We're all a ball of energy. You guys are sitting there and you guys are excited and there is excitement bubbling and boiling over. And you need to take that energy and channel it into something else, something greater than yourself. Otherwise, it's meaningless or wasted. I have to share this funny explanation of kinetic energy that I found on the internet. And I quote, "Kinetic energy can be transferred between objects and transformed into other kinds of energy. For example, a flying squirrel might collide with a stationary chipmunk. Following the collision, some of the initial kinetic energy of the squirrel might have been transferred into the chipmunk or transferred into some form of energy." I couldn't have explained it better myself. So, when you're creating something, it's really a part of you and a part of your energy that you're putting into something else. You all have something very, very special inside of you, and you have to take the opportunity to create something truly meaningful from yourself. Take your energy and transform it into something that transcends who you are. Find cures, save children, cure cancer, end hunger. Be the flying squirrel. Life and your career is a journey full of twists and turns that only in hindsight reveal themselves to be tiny failures that lead into great successes. It's a journey that I'm still on. What I will tell you is that the hardest and most rewarding part of this journey is the burden that you carry as USF grads and a citizen of this world. It is a burden of knowing that you have the ability to change the world, that you have a greater purpose, and that you must listen to that voice inside of you and keep going despite all of the challenges that you may face. Even when I was completely unsure of my next steps, I always knew that I was meant to do something special. My work, my struggle means nothing if it does not better the lives of those around me and empower those around me to do the same. And I cannot do that unless I ignore all of the limitations holding me back. The most important lesson I've learned in life was from someone I hardly knew, my father. He passed away when I was 4 years old, in his prime. He was a doctor, and he had his whole life ahead of him. This early experience with mortality taught me that our time on this planet is finite, and you must live life to the fullest without limitations. Our time on this planet and our ability to have an impact here is finite. Loss can teach us a lot about how we want to make the most of the time we have here. There's only one guarantee in life, and that is that eventually your time here on earth will come to an end. Everything from now and in between that time is up to you, because the sky is not the limit, your mind is. So release yourself from the chains of not being smart enough, from not being wealthy enough, from not being man enough, from not being woman enough, from not being quick enough, from not being experienced enough, from not being old enough, from not being young enough, from simply not being enough. The world is a funny place, and there are people out there that don't want you to dream big. They don't want you to think that just one person can make a difference. And they're going to encourage you to play it safe. Those people are going to encourage you to make the safe and selfish choice. Those people went to the University of Santa Clara. The people that don't want you to dream big, those people are wrong. When they try to stop you, or when you feel like you can't going, remember your two mantras. Serve a purpose greater than yourself and live life without limitations. Carry the values that you've learned here at USF and you will be successful. And when you found success, don't forget to bring others up with you. I call this the elevator theory, and everyone who works with me knows this theory very well. It's the idea that you bring someone to the top with you, teaching them and helping them grow along the way. When the elevator reaches the top, you send it back down to bring someone else up. It doesn't matter what industry you work in, you can always change the world by empowering those around you to seek a purpose greater than themselves and to live life without limiting themselves. This is certainly something I've learned here at USF, and that has propelled many people before you from this institution to great success and happiness. I am grateful to have studied here and grateful and greatly humbled by the opportunity to speak to this group of talented, powerful individuals who will surely change the world. So look to your left and look to your right and look inside of you, because the 2020 commencement speaker might be you. Congratulations, class of 2016.